Me and Daryl's relationship has always been strictly started off as business. Obviously, if you know, you know, like he put me onto YouTube, started off there, grew into a friendship, has always remained platonic.
Cheated on me.
What?
On a break. She did something.
That's cheating, I'm not gonna
But it was just the dude it was with that f***ed me up, right? I never got over it.
Two wrongs don't make it right. At the time, I felt that it did. I was like, she's done all this stuff to me. Like, I don't give a anymore.
A single text message detonated the powder keg, turning a messy breakup into a full-scale battle, and little Halo is stuck on the front lines. This isn't your run-of-the-mill cheating scandal. It's a saga of shattered loyalty, raw bruises, both emotional and otherwise, and celebrity reputations on the brink. In one corner, a chart-topping rapper with baggage. In the other, a Disney-born darling who's decided there's nothing left to protect. Between them, an innocent baby boy and a custody fight that has the internet gasping for air. Buckle up as we peel back the layers on DDG, Halle Bailey, Ruby Rose, and the showdown that's got everyone watching through their fingers. March 21st, 2024. Sometime before midnight, a message from Halle Bailey to DDG hits like a truck. I just found out you slept with LALA in Mexico. I'm going to unalive myself tonight. I hate you forever. You can have him, let her be his mom. The typos didn't matter. The heartbreak did.
People already have this narrative because it's just hard to believe that a guy and a girl can be friends. Like, it's hard to believe that me and him or any other guy and girl can just strictly be platonic friends, okay? But nothing has ever gone on past that, ever. Me and Daryl's relationship has always been strictly started off as business. Obviously, if you know, you know, like he put me onto YouTube, started off there, grew into a friendship, has always remained platonic.
What followed was a tidal wave of leaked texts, emotional breakdowns, and a sudden emergency custody filing from DDG. At the center of it all, a girl named LALA Baptiste, once just a friend, now a trigger. And this wasn't Halle's first time spiraling over her. LALA and DDG always claimed they were platonic. They had business ties, YouTube collabs, and shared parties. But when you're dealing with a shaky relationship, proximity starts to feel like proof. LALA denied anything romantic. She sounded hurt, even exhausted. She admitted she and Halle spoke, privately, but she never confirmed or denied the details. Just said she understood the paranoia.
She hit me up, she reached out to me, we had a long conversation about it, things were cleared up, and rightfully so. Like, I didn't even feel any type of way when I found out when she hit me because I understood. I 100% understood. Like I said, I've been in that position.
And that's what made it worse. Because when you're already drowning in doubt, silence feels like guilt. But this wasn't LALA's mess alone. It echoed a story we'd all heard before, from Ruby Rose.
Cheated on me.
What?
On a break. She did something.
That's cheating, I'm not gonna
But it was just the dude it was with that f***ed me up, right? I never got over it.
Back in 2023, Ruby dropped receipts that made the internet pause. DMs from DDG, flirty texts, and even threats. "You still in LA?" he asked, while publicly booed up with Halle. When she called him out, he clapped back with threats to destroy her career.
Just finished the third one for the night, boy. I'm a goddamn Daisy. Goddamn thought is what I is.
Ruby wasn't just bitter, she has been there. And her quietness rang out as the internet's most thunderous, "I told you so."
Like, it was her ex-boyfriend, I was dating the guy, we didn't know each other. But there's a narrative that like, oh, every guy she was with, I just...
Right.
And that, I just want to clear that narrative up.
Right.
That is not true. And just like behind the scenes, there was so many things that we did to each other. Like, it just got to a point we were always on and off. Like, we were damn near in a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
By May 2024, it wasn't just drama. It was war. DDG filed for emergency full custody of baby Halo, alleging Halle was unstable, erratic, and unsafe.
He is fighting back by saying, and she has violence issues or she has health issues.
160+ pages of text, screenshots, voicemails, damage claims, emotional threats, air tags. He painted a picture of a woman spiraling, and himself as the protective father trying to shield his son. But Halle wasn't staying quiet. On June 3rd, Halle Bailey files her own restraining order and flips the narrative. Photos of bruises, a chipped tooth, shattered phones, screams caught on video, and an incident in a car where DDG allegedly slammed her face into the steering wheel. "I stayed," she said, "because I wanted my son to have a family, but staying came with scars." here's where it gets darker. The same accusations Rubi hinted at years ago, emotional manipulation, cheating, threats, were now coming from Halle. She said DDG mocked her postpartum body, pressured her to lose weight, humiliated her during the most vulnerable time of her life. She stayed silent, and even that was used against her. Sound familiar? While the internet debated screenshots and blame, baby Halo sat in the middle. 2 parents, 2 lawsuits, and 1 child becoming a tug-of-war rope in a battle more about ego than love. DDG said Halle was unfit. Halle said DDG was dangerous. Court said, co-parenting therapy, but no one's sure if either side's really fighting for Halo or just fighting to win. Their fans knew the couple was on shaky ground, but few realized how often they clashed behind closed doors. Arguments spilled into vlogs and live streams. Subtle shade, eye rolls, passive-aggressive comments, they were all there if you looked close. At one point, DDG joked about Halle being too sensitive in a YouTube video. She laughed on camera, but fans noticed her eyes didn't. The fights weren't always physical, but they were constant. Jealousy, insecurity, fame. All the ingredients for disaster, brewing quietly online. Anytime criticism came his way, DDG took to Twitter. Cryptic tweets, subtweets, then full-on rants. In one now-deleted post, he claimed, "I made her famous." Another time, he tweeted, "I can't do nothing right." He would post something shady, then delete it hours later. Fans called it emotional manipulation. Others called it damage control. But what's clear is that DDG used social media not just to vent, but to control the narrative. It wasn't just social media. DDG's music turned into a mirror for the drama. In his song Famous, he rapped about not wanting Halle to kiss another man for work, even if it was scripted. Lyrics like, "She's in love with the spotlight," had fans wondering if the song was about Halle. The message was clear. He felt entitled to her image, her choices, her career. While Halle kept quiet in public, DDG turned their real-life drama into content. And that made fans question whether he was ever really invested, or just marketing their mess. Was this love? Or was it control in a designer wrapper? Rubi's warnings, Halle's pain, DDG's denial, and a baby being dragged through it all. We've all seen toxic relationships. But what happens when they're public, monetized, and weaponized? And if Rubi was the ghost of girlfriends past, what if Halle's just the latest chapter in a repeating pattern? This stints of cheating by DDG led to multiple repercussions for Halle Bailey. She was tapped to co-star with Timothée Chalamet in Luca Guadagnino's €60 million psychological suspense film The Glass Garden, set to shoot for 9 weeks in Tuscany. She asked the court for permission to take her son Halo on location, promising DDG 2 supervised FaceTime sessions. DDG quickly filed an emergency petition to block the trip, citing international abduction data and describing Halle's mindset as unstable. The filing rattled the production's insurers, and industry chatter soon claimed Zendaya had been sent the screenplay. Although no public recast has been announced, Halle's name vanished from internal call sheets. To regain control of the narrative, Halle's camp lined up high-visibility interviews, Good Morning America, 2.7 million viewers, and an online Essence cover story, where she spoke about therapy, recovery, and building a protective bubble for Halo. DDG counter-programmed by dropping a track called Toxic Halo, built around voicemail clips that listeners assume are Halle's. The song peaked at number 12 on Spotify's global chart and padded his quarterly royalties by roughly $220,000. Social media analytics firm Metric Mind found that 38% of tweets supporting DDG came from just 11 hyperactive accounts, hinting at bot amplification. On the other side, researchers logged 26 fan pages reposting identical Protect Black Women threads within minutes, evidence of coordinated messaging. Custody dispute had migrated into a full-blown algorithm skirmish. The financial fallout was immediate. Disney stock slid 1.4%, about $3.1 billion in market value, after news of the temporary restraining order. Hasbro halted a planned reissue of its Halle-themed Ariel doll. Meanwhile, Universal Records reportedly dangled a $750,000 advance for a DDG EP about fatherhood and false claims. Family law specialist Mia Sanchez told Variety that Halle's next obstacle is a psychological evaluation. If she passes, the court could expand her access. If she doesn't, visits will stay supervised, Sanchez said. Child psychologist Dr. Evan Kwan warned that the ongoing tug-of-war risks attachment trauma for the toddler. Court sources hint at sealed evidence. A Ring camera file labeled Lobby Confrontation 4 and 174 pages of couples therapy notes, both under protective order. Judge Kim will soon decide whether to extend Halle's restraining order, silence both parties online, or let her travel for future work. Careers, custody, and public credibility all hinge on that ruling. Amid the spectacle, Halo himself is rarely mentioned. His first words, "Mama, Dada," are now heard only during tightly supervised Zoom calls. So who's protecting baby Halo? Was Halle spiraling or surviving? Was DDG a victim or just mad that his image cracked? The whole story might stay hidden, but one fact stands out. The happily ever after has ended and this custody fight is nowhere near finished. So who's gonna be the next person in the limelight? Please like and subscribe for more of the latest celebrity news and updates. I'll see you all in the next one.